Omar Bradley, a member of West Point Lodge 877, Highland Falls, New York, was one of the greatest of American generals. He led the D-Day battle that was the beginning of the World War II tide turning in favor of the Allies. But his seemingly reserved, almost introverted personality made Franklin Roosevelt reluctant to put him in charge of that operation. Without support from both Dwight D. Eisenhower and George C. Marshall, the D-Day command most likely would have gone to George Patton. Bradley was all business. He rarely smiled. His reserved personality followed him his entire life. Not only did it influence Franklin Roosevelt's first impression of him, but others also found him to be withdrawn. He wrote of being a loner in high school and mentioned in his autobiography that even though he had Eisenhower's confidence, he knew Ike thought he had a dull personality. While the makeup of a person's personality is a complex issue, Bradley wrote of connected incidents in his life which even he thought had a bearing on how people perceived him. Always the athlete, Bradley was an excellent ice skater and enjoyed skating on a lake in Forest Park in Moberly, Missouri. Late one night in 1909, 17-year-old Bradley was skating in relative darkness. The limited visibility turned out to be catastrophic. Bradley collided with another skater whose head slammed directly into Bradley's face at high speed. The accident was, in Bradley's words, bone-smashing. It knocked virtually every one of his teeth loose, caused severe lifelong gum damage, and turned Bradley's teeth into a jumbled mess. Bradley's family had no money for a dentist. As a result, he lived with the aftermath of the injury for the remainder of his life, suffering numerous abscesses and gum infections. During the year he spent at Fort Leavenworth, the problems with his mouth became particularly severe. With all due respect to the armed forces, the Army of that day was not exactly known for its world-class dental care. The Army promptly pulled every one of Bradley's teeth and provided him with a set of dentures which may have been a step or two better than Brother George Washington's famous but fictional wooden teeth. As a result of the skating injury and becoming toothless at the age of 35, Bradley rarely smiled. About the best he could manage was a tight, pursed lip grin, a fact which is borne out in photographs throughout his life. The story of Omar Bradley's life reveals a serious, career-driven, no-nonsense soldier, and people certainly perceived him as such. However, extreme perceptions that he was withdrawn and diffident may be due to his skating accident as a youth. This is Steve Harrison for the Whence Came You podcast.